Okay. Recently, on our last show, we talked about a little game called Cuphead. And this
Yes.
is a game that we're both super, super excited for.
Yeah.
It looks great. It's a, hand-drawn 2D boss battle platformer. It's got some platforming levels in between, and the big, what do you want to call it? The big push in this game is the co-op, right?
Of course.
Because
Yeah.
all the trailers, it shows Cuphead and Mugman, the two heroes of the game. And
they're
all
so fun.
along, we planned to co-op this game online. That's exactly what we wanted to do.
Yep.
But when the description came out, it said that this game was couch co-op only. Now, I know you reached out to Studio MDHR.
Yep.
And what did they tell you?
Yeah, so actually, this is funny enough. This was during the show last week. We when this first kind of broke, and yeah, I tweeted MDHR, and I was just like, "Hey guys, the ad on Xbox says that it is local co-op only, and can you just confirm if that's an error, if it's coming later, whatever?" And they basically tweeted back, and I don't have it right in front of me, so this is a paraphrase, but they basically just said. Yeah, so I mean, they basically just said that it is confirmed local only, and that they would love to do, multiplayer online in the future if possible. So that basically just confirmed. I'm going to pull up the tweet just to read it, but they basically did confirm exactly what the listing says, which really kind of hurt our feelings.
Sure. Now, like I said, I really, really hope, because they can still add it. Right? I mean, they can always patch it and add it, which would be awesome. And I mean, let me ask you real quick, just your opinion. Why do you think they did couch co-op only? Why do you think, what's stopping them from doing online play? I mean, the only thing I can think of is, lag, because this game is very, very Twitch heavy. But at the same time, like, Fighters Online, they're very Twitch heavy, and they still play online. I mean, even Smash Brothers can play online. So, I mean, what do you think is stopping this team from putting it online?
So, and we're actually going to talk about this a little bit later in another part of our show. But I actually think it has less to do with like limitations of the format than it does of just limitations of the development team.
Okay.
So this is the quote back from Studio MDHR, and this is what they said. So I'm going to read it. So this is an exact quote. It says local. So again, my question was, can you confirm if online co-op will be available or local co-op only? And their response was local at launch, and then we are going to look into the possibility / feasibility of online co-op. So what that tells me is, number one, they're obviously interested in it, but to understand a little bit more about the studio and what they've done. So MDHR initially started as just two brothers,
right?
And they actually they had a really good interview where it talks about they ended up quitting their jobs and remortgaging their houses just to be able to build a team.
Sure. Now we'll get into that later on in the show.
So anyways, so to come back to your question, I think that it has more to do with whenever you have two guys, or even when you add a few extra teammates, it's like, what do you need to do to get the game out of the door?
Right.
And online is a very advanced feature and a very advanced function that to us, who just play games and don't really understand the in and outs of it, probably don't understand everything that entails that, especially for a Twitch-based game like this.
Sure.
But for me, at the end of the day, I think it just came down to them being like, look, we only have so much time, we only have so much resources, we're going to make the best experience that we can, local co-op, and then once it's all said and done, if we can come back and do that, then we'll talk about that then.
Sure. And I'm excited for the game regardless, because I'll play this through the whole thing single player, because with the way my life is now, I don't really have the option, at least not that often, to play with another person, because I know that's not a game my wife will play. Right.
You get Brittany on it. She can be Mugman.
Well, I mean, thinking about this, though, in couch co-op and online co-op, there's been recent games like this. I mean, this isn't the first time this has happened. So, with Cuphead being couch co-op only, we've had other games that are completely the opposite. Halo 5, first thing that pops into my head, it did not have split screen couch co-op. And that's the first time I think that Halo has not had local co-op.
Yes.
And I remember that was a very, very big deal.
Yeah, they got a lot of grief.
Yeah, and I mean it was a great game. I'm glad, my lifestyle's kind of changed to the point where if I'm going to play co-op, I'm playing it online. I'm not playing it on the couch. So Halo 5 to me worked out perfectly. But like you said, there's a lot of people, they had to be in person, right? Because like my brother-in-law and I, we played through, all the Halo games in co-op. Sometimes he was over at my place. Sometimes we played online. But, it was great to have that option. But let me ask you, are there any games you can think of off the top of your head where you think, man, I wish that had split screen, or I wish that had local co-op?
Yeah, so I actually brought this up right after E3, and a lot of it came back to So here's the thing. I never really had a lot of people to play with it online. I didn't really have a deep friend base that I could connect to and play online like on a regular basis. So most of my multiplayer gaming experience has been local, and I've been fine with that. And and then of course like multiplayer Call of Duty and stuff like that I've played occasionally throughout the years. But it really wasn't until me and you started getting together and playing that I really kind of found the drive for playing games, and just maybe not the drive, but just the advantage and the enjoyment of playing games like that. So we co-opted all 4 Gears of War games, which was a blast.
We did Judgment though. We skipped that.
We gotta go back. We gotta go back to Judgment. Yeah. We did Overwatch. Now we're doing that, and we've been playing Marvel Heroes, which has been a lot of fun. And then we're talking about going back and doing Halo, which would be super fun. So now that I have somebody to play with, this actually does come to mind.
I might back out eventually, but like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. As soon as I make you mad, as soon as I talk about Metroid Prime or something and get you ticked off and you don't talk to me anymore. But for me, like instantly the game that comes to mind, which I said right after E3, was Assassin's Creed. And I have a blast with Assassin's Creed, and so I've been playing through Syndicate because E3 got me hyped for Origins. And in Syndicate, you play as Ellie and Jacob, so you have 2 main protagonists, and they all have. There's a fly right in my camera, it's driving me crazy. They both have their own kind of missions and stuff, and I just think it would be super cool to play in an open sandbox like that, 2-player online co-op. I think that would be super fun, and so I don't know how split screen would work. One of the things that I have found now playing with you more is like I'm kind of stingy with the screen. And, now when I think about playing Gears of War and I have to cut off half of my screen to play with somebody, I'm like, nah, I'll just play with James because I can get all my real estate back. But no, Assassin's Creed comes to mind because I think those worlds are so interesting, and they're so big and just vast, and being able to drop 2 people in there, it makes me think a lot like Grand Theft Auto Online. I don't know if you've ever played that or not. But Grand Theft Auto Online is awesome. And so it's kind of that vibe, but not just the thing about Grand Theft Auto is it's just random open world stuff. It's not story stuff. So I'd actually like to be able to play through co-op the Assassin's Creed story with a second player. I think that'd be super cool.
Yeah, that would be great. Now, like I said before, there is online co-op in Unity. No, I don't think there's any split screen co-op, but there is online co-op in Unity. It wasn't that great, but it was there. But I will agree with you about the split screen thing, because it's kind of funny how we get selfish of our screen space. Yes. Because like when my wife and I had mentioned multiple times, playing through Disney Infinity, and especially the Lego games, right? When you get that split screen and you only see half the screen, and you're seeing so much stuff. And you're like, I know there's something over there, but I can't see it because my wife is way over here, and the way the split screen happens. And so I agree. Like there are times where I love having online co-op. But now I've got another question for you though.
hit me.
With the way technology is going, with the way the Xbox is going and PlayStation and all these systems, it's all about being, resource hungry, right? To make these games look great, run great. And the whole reason Halo 5 didn't have couch co-op was because they said they didn't have the resources for it, right? So let me ask you this. Is split screen a thing of the past? Because the way video games are evolving, all these big, now, I will say indie games, things like that, I think they'll always have co-op in it. Certain companies like Nintendo will always have co-op in it. But these big AAA titles, do you think split screen co-op is dead?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that it's dead, and I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with talking about things like Nintendo and Lego games and stuff. So here's my answer to that. I think split screen games are something that is more readily accessible to a younger audience.
Oh, sure.
And what I mean by that is, like, as a grown man now, there are very few.
Are?
Well,
Get
that. I mean, that's what my license says.
Oh, sure, sure.
But no, like, very few times. I mean, I'm married. I have 4 kids. There are very few times that, like, one of my friends just pops over and is like, hey, let's play some Gears of War.
Right.
Like, that just doesn't happen, right? What happens now, more than not, is the kids go to bed, wife goes to bed, and then I get online with you, or I get online, there's a couple guys that I play Madden with, and we'll play online like that. So I don't necessarily think that the move away from it is because I do think there's some technical hurdles, obviously, but I think what they're starting to see is those games that are focused more at adult gamers. I think the majority of us don't have a group of friends that is constantly just hanging around your house all the time.
Sure.
And so rather than put the effort into basically rendering your screen twice, they just take all that juice and making a beautiful, perfect, picture that you can then go online with and play with anybody that you want. So that's kind of where. So I think that games like any Lego game, I think that the games like anything like that, Mario games, stuff like that, is always going to have split screen. I think that's always going to be there.
Sure, absolutely. And we do have that new game from EA, and the guy from Brothers Tale of Two.
That's right.
Sons, that was it's called. His new game, the one where they break out of prison. What is that called?
It's called A Way Out.
A Way Out. That's right. And that game it totally breaks anything you think about split screen, because whether you're playing online or on the couch, it is split screen at all times. But it still looks awesome. Hopefully we'll have a Let's Play of that, when that comes out, get that online, because that could be a lot of fun, live streaming that game. But, okay, guys. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like that game is built for that. So I mean, I do think that you may see some split screen experiences that are built specifically because that's needed.
Sure.
So obviously that will be in there. But yeah, I would just say, kind of just real quick to kind of tie it up. You're always going to want to have games that you can play together. What I really like is I like games like Jackbox.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't actually split the screen, but it gives you your own screen. Like, I could see more stuff like that taking off. Like, I could see even like a game like Halo Wars, where you could actually control your units on like a smart screen. And then just have like one main map or something on the TV, so where you're playing independently and then the screen kind of stays.
Oh, sure.
And again, you're not having to render the game twice because your app at that point is doing. So I think, especially with Microsoft, because they interact with so many different devices and things, I think we will see future evolutions of different ways to play around the living room together that don't necessarily require split screen.
Awesome. Okay, guys, what do you guys think of co-op? How do you play? Do you normally play online with friends? Or do you ever play on the couch, with having a friend over or whatever that is? Play with your spouse like we do? How do you guys play games in multiplayer? Let us know. And do you think, split screen is dying, or do you think it's alive and well? Let us know if you're watching on the YouTube. Let us know in the comments. And as I mentioned, you can always hit us up on our Facebook community group for the Xbox Dive. And don't forget, if you are in our live chat on mixer.com/the Xbox Dive, you can also hit us up there. That would be awesome.